All right then guys, welcome back to another video from Reef Drama. Now this video is specifically in conjunction with the previous video that was all about the new polycarbonate lid that I purchased. There's two separate sheets, ordered them from a company, had all the cutouts done, blah, 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 put it onto the tank, obviously got these clips as well. And there were a few comments with regards to the condensation or the water that was pooling underneath the lid itself, and was there any sort of detrimental effect really, I guess, to the PAR reading. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see down in the back over here, the white there, that is the Sine, Reef Sine that I have. I've fished it out because it's normally in the back of the weir at the top. So as the water drops down, it will give me an alert basically that that the water has gone. Generally that's because of a water change, but usually that's where it lives. I've cleaned off the back of it, see where the sensor is, and I've got a couple of bits, here. So I've got a nice sort of reasonable size long pipe with a 90 on the end, and what I'm going to do is use the wire ties, and I'm going to strap the Sine to this, and then the wire sort of strap it up here as well. And then I'm going to lower this into the reef tank with the lid removed, and then we'll get a reading sort of at the bottom, and then maybe like, I don't know, halfway up somewhere. Then what I'll do is I'll put the lid back on, leaving this in position, and then we'll do the same thing again. We'll get a reading at the bottom, and then again, I'll move it up as long as I can to about halfway, and again, see what the reading is. Now I've got another camera set up round there on the monitor, so you will see the PAR reading going up and down live, basically in real time. So what I'm going to try and do to try and prevent any of the water that's maybe pooled on the top that you noticed from the previous video, I'm going to lift this lid up and I'm going to move it across to the left. I'm not going to tilt it or anything, so I don't want any of the water to run off. So we get ideally a true kind of view really as to exactly what's going on. So without further ado, let me pause the video here. I'm going to set this up with the Sine. When I come back, basically it will be in the tank, and then I'll be able to send you over to the other camera. Right, let's do it. Right then, as I mentioned a minute ago, I'm going to lift the lid up, just basically take it over to the left and set it down over here, just so as you can make sure that I'm not tilting it up. I'm not kind of wiping off any of the water droplets that's underneath either. So let's remove that, lift it up, and then I'm going to just basically bring it across to the left, trying to keep it level and steady, and set it down. So we've now got absolutely nothing here, and this is where I'm going to be doing the Sine, is directly below this sort of section here. So we've got a cluster of lights. There's 4 sets of cluster of lights on this IT5012, I think it is from memory, and we're going to have virtually, if I move this over just a fraction more, we're going to virtually have the full 2 clusters. So basically one cluster is there and the second cluster is there. So if I put the Sine right in the center, right down at the bottom there as best I can, then hopefully we're going to get a reasonable reading. So I've not even done this for such a long time to see what the PAR is on these lights. But I mean, as far as like the soft corals are concerned, it's absolutely fine. What I'll do is I'll find out what the percentage is that this light is running at the moment. So let me just stop the camera at the moment. I'm going to set up the Sine on this pole, and then I'll come back to you. All right, see you in a minute. All right then, so I just thought I'd get the remote control here for this light and just put it in front of this camera, just to show you exactly kind of what we're on. Now battery light is flashing up there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to menu. We're on custom. I'm going to move it across to the time. It is 3:30, just after, in the afternoon. I don't know, there's so much trust going on. There we go, look, hopefully you can see that. It's just before 3:30 actually. So I'm going to set it to 3. Let's do that again. Move it over, set it onto 3 o'clock, and then we're going to come down. No, we're going to go. What are we doing here? There we go. Channel 1, that's what I want. So channel 1 is 3% at 3 o'clock. Channel 2 is also 3%. Channel 3 is 60%. Channel 4, 3%. Channel 5, 60%. Channel 6, 60% as well. Okay, right, now that's done. Let's get on making this Sine onto the pole. Right, okay then guys, so I've got it all set up in the middle there of the tank. Let me just try and get it. Oh, what's happened here? Marnie, get out of the way. Okay, so hopefully you can see, I've got you on this camera, hey, looking at the Sine where it is in the tank, and I've got you on, hey, this camera, so you can see the par reading that's up here, and there's also per, percentage, and lux, if you're that interested in it all. But basically, we are now on the surface, on the sand, I should say, roughly, I would say, about the center of the tank. And if I can hold it still, and Piney doesn't come over to try and eat it, what are we looking at? We're bouncing around 121, 118, 103, 105, 112, 110. So let's say about, what, 110, 112 as an average. And then what I'll do is I'm going to lift it up, try and keep it roughly where it was. Now this pole, because of the length of it, is going to hit the ceiling in a minute. But I want to keep the Sine level in the center of the two clusters of lights. The wave makers are moving it around a little bit, so it's not making it easy. I've left them on as well. So let's hold it about there. And then what are we getting now? 177, 167, 191. That's all over, isn't it? 190, 158, 155, 196, 176. So maybe, I don't know, 170-ish as like an average. And I'm about an inch away from the ceiling. If I move it up any higher, I don't know if you're here, but it will hit the ceiling. I don't know if you heard that. 3 times I tapped the ceiling anyway. So that's about as high really as I can go. And we are looking at over halfway up anyway. It's over halfway up the column. Right, okay. I don't really know how I'm going to get it all the way up there with the lid on, looking at the angle of this pipe. We might have to change the angle so I come out at the side a bit more. So let's try and work that out for a second. I'm going to have to twist this round. I'm probably going to have to do it in 2 stages actually. I'm going to have to put it kind of like down there at the bottom with the lid and then twist it around a little bit when I need to bring it up. So, right, this is going to float a little bit. Stay there, Piney, don't eat it. So I'm going to move this lid now back into its normal position. Again, trying to keep it as level as I can. And it will be slightly up at a very, well, at an angle. So obviously I've got the pipe now going in with the Sine device at the end of it. So if I can try and set this down in the center, and all I'm doing now is just annoying them zoas. Let's give myself a little bit more wire. There we go. And then I think we're back down at the center again where it was. Lid is on. Pipe just coming out. We are roughly in the middle of the tank at the bottom. I don't have to hold it now because the lid is holding it in position. Hopefully you can see this on this camera. Yep. And we can see the par is what, 85, 83, 79, 83, 85, 87. So that's, I can't remember now. I'll have to look back at editing. What was it when the lid wasn't on? I've forgotten. About 112, wasn't it? I think it was about 112 average with the lid off, and now the lid is on. It's dropped down to 83, something like that. Right, let me try and get this up into the position where it was before. As I say, when I bring it out, it will now twist, so it won't be level. No, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have to try and twist it. Whatever happens, I don't really want to damage the lid or the Sine device or get bit by Piney. Let's try that. Sorry, Piney. You bobbed you on the edge. Right, I think that's level. It is in the center of the two clusters. We are, yeah, halfway across from front to back. And I'm going to try and hold this as still as I can. And we are getting 196, 180, 184, 182, 189, 190. You can see on the screen what we're getting. So I don't think that's much dissimilar to what it was without the lid. Obviously, the further down it goes, it did have a little bit of a, I'm moving it around a bit now, trying to hold it still. It obviously reduced when the lid was on, didn't it, with the water droplets and stuff, but whether it's too huge an amount, you know, for you guys to worry about, what was it, 112 without the lid, and it was about 83 or 85 with the lid. So I'll leave that up to yourselves to decide, but that's the test anyway with the Sine Reef device. With the new polycarbonate lid that was £120 from a plastic sheeting company. And obviously we've got these clips, and everyone's going to have their own views on the clips. But for now, just leave that to go there. Let's come back to me. Twist this round. I think that's about it. That will do. So, as I say, there we go. Test is done. You guys can obviously take from that whatever you need to. You saw the percentage settings of the light, the Evergrow IT5012. From memory, I think that's what it is. And 60 odd percent for the majority of the whites and the blues. Now, obviously, I'm not growing SPS in here. I haven't even got any LPS. It is all softies, and that is basically because of Piney. Nitrates are too high. I can't really keep anything else at the moment. But things will change, obviously, when Piney's moved out to the fish house and into his tank out there. Then, hopefully, then the nitrates in this tank will reduce down, and we'll then maybe crank up the lights a little bit more and maybe introduce some SPS, and then we'll see how we get on with that. But for now, I think that would do. That's the test done. I promised in the comment section to whoever commented that I would do this test, and I've now done that. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. As I say, take from it what you will. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and well, if you're not already subscribed, then I suggest you do be subscribed, because lots of things are going to be happening out in that fish house as soon as we've got the electrics and it's all set up. So can't wait for that. Really excited. All that's left is just to say thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Share if you think this is going to be useful to somebody else. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much. Bye for now.
Easy come, easy go.